Hi, I'm Susan Guidry, and I'm running for City Council, District A.
Ms. Guidry, how are you today?
Great, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking time out to meet with us today.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. We, on behalf of NewOrleansBlack.com, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places that this video can be seen, YouTube, and the 60,000 people out here, we appreciate getting to know you better.
Thank you.
Consider this 10 minutes just a conversation. So our job is to get to know who is Miss Susan Guidry. So I'm going to start with the question, who is Miss Susan Guidry? Let's go back to the childhood. Catch us up.
Okay. I'm a native New Orleanian.
All right.
I've lived in the Mid-City area for 28 years now.
Okay.
I am a Democrat. I'm the only Democrat in this race.
All right.
I worked to pay my way through college and law school and graduated with honors from Loyola School of Law.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Archbishop Chappelle High School.
Okay.
And I graduated from college at USL, University of Southwestern Louisiana.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a practicing attorney for 23 years now.
Okay.
Most recently, I was among the litigation team that represented the Port of New Orleans successfully in their Katrina claims against their insurance companies.
Good stuff.
Yes, it was an exciting case. It really
Good.
was. And I'm the president of my neighborhood association, Parkview, for the past 4 and something years.
That's important.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've been working on neighborhood and city recovery matters since the storm. I just came back home like everyone else to a flooded home and rolled up my sleeves and realized that the city government was as broken as the city was.
Right.
And that we really had to do it ourselves. We got together first in our neighborhood, and before too long I was on the board and then as president of the neighborhood association.
So this is way before running for office.
Oh yes, this was 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And of course trying to bring my business back at the same time.
Okay.
That's how I got involved in the port case. So I worked on that for 2 years, and that was successfully settled at the end of last year.
You got a gleam in your eye.
Yes, it was a very exciting case. Electronic discovery, millions of documents, and we brought in over $100 million for the Port of New Orleans.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, wonderful. Well, let's talk about that, because bringing $100 million to the Port of New Orleans is economic development.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's talk about what it means to have Ms. Guidry represent District A from an economic development perspective. And let me even throw a twist in that. Our audience, about 85% plus of this audience, is African American or diverse, okay? What we're concerned about as a people is making sure that there's inclusion and fairness with who represents all of us. Talk to us, A, about your economic development strategies, but B, how do you make sure that there's fairness and inclusion?
Okay. On economic development, the first thing we need to do, and everyone should ask their mayoral candidates, if they are going to sign the public-private partnership, the cooperative endeavor agreement, that will take economic development out of City Hall, put it all under one roof so that businesses, both our growing businesses from within the city and businesses that we are trying to bring from outside of the city, will have one place to go to get all the tools they need to make it in New Orleans and to make their business grow.
Okay.
That is an important thing, and it's only the mayor who can sign it. The city council has already signed off on it. The second thing we need to do, I think, is look at our green industry. We have the demand here in New Orleans. I mean, with all our rebuilding needs, we have the green businesses, both homegrown ones that are coming up in New Orleans and ones that have come in. We have all types of stimulus money and grant money and all types of funding for sustainable businesses and for green building.
Good.
And I think that that is a very exciting industry that will boom in our city.
Oh yeah, and we can be a leader in it.
Yes, yes, I think we will be actually.
Talk to us about the fairness aspect. How would we make sure, how are you going to make sure that all people participate in economic development?
Well, the City Council recently passed an ordinance that set goals of 35% of all contracts, all public funds going to DBEs and 50% to local companies.
Love it.
And what we need there is we need to go out to those companies and do outreach. And I think that the city is starting to do that now, and I want to, make that a major role that we have, is to go out to the companies in the community and let them know about the programs, and actually even teach them, give them seminars on what they can do to get the city business.
Well, Lord knows everybody wants to figure out how to get it.
Right, and then the second thing on that is enforcement. We need to enforce that ordinance. We need to look at our contracting practices, and we need to say, are we reaching those goals? If we're not, what do we need to do?
Absolutely. Well, and, I mean, I can tell you that I'm personally excited about that. You know what I get a kick out of, Ms. Guidry, is I've been following politics for a while, and so has our audience, is what makes somebody run. I mean, is there a moment at which, and I've brought this up with other interviews, is there a moment at which you're sitting on the couch watching TV and you just say, I can't take it no more, I got to get in this race? Or what is that? What makes someone as successful as you in the private sector, doing what you do, say, you know what, I'm going to go get scrutinized and I'm going to run this race? What's that all about?
It's a good question. I've never done it before. I've always let that feeling pass. But when in District A, Councilmember Medora announced that she was not going to run again, then, having been a neighborhood leader for the last 4 and something years, I know what it's like to have, to be able to call my city council person and have them and their staff respond. And so I've seen the beginnings of this working for us. And so it just came to a point where I started waking up at night, literally, saying, what is your reason for not doing this? You know what it takes now.
You're challenging yourself.
Right. And, I feel like I've gotten to the point because I've worked on multi-neighborhood level also in city, I just feel like I've gotten to the point where I've been doing this, and I know that it's what ignites me. So I started waking up saying, what's my reason for not doing this? And there was none, so here I am.
I think a lot of people go through that, and it's interesting how you end up saying, you challenge yourself on why should you not, because it sounds like you were fighting it. And I think a lot of people go through that. Last question comes from our Facebook friends out there. Rashad Baptiste writes, what do you plan on doing to bring back all the lost schools, playgrounds, teenage activities, and keep the kids off the streets? What do you think you can get behind or implement that would make a difference with our kids, that would keep them off the streets?
Particularly since I've begun campaigning, I'm a person who likes to learn. It's my background as an attorney. I want to be prepared when I get asked a question. I've been learning to prepare for winning this seat, and I am amazed at the opportunities that are out there right now in our city. Again, both homegrown organizations and organizations that have come into our city that offer so many opportunities to our children. And that is the future. Our biggest issue is crime, and our biggest solution to that issue is to take care of our children.
That's right.
And you look at the organizations that are out there right now. First of all, we all know that we're working on the school districts and the schools, public schools, and that's outside the city council's authority. But you look at the programs that after school partnership, that Jim Bernasoni came back into town, and he's got the Youth Rescue Initiative. It's exciting. Communities in schools, which the whole purpose of that is to identify at-risk children, students, and keep them in school. We have wonderful programs out there, and we need to rebuild NORD, the New Orleans Recreation Department, and then we need to interface these programs so that we're giving, as Gordon Parks called it, a choice of weapons to our children. The weapons such as the pen and the camera and, the baseball bat, instead of the violent weapons.
Very good. Well, look, this has been an awesome opportunity to get to know you better. If you would, please remind people who you are and ask them to vote for you.
I'm Susan Guidry. I'm running for City Council, District A, ballot number 42. Thank you.